Yeah, for sure. So our first match we're gonna have here is, I believe,
Reed
Lightning
versus
Reed.
Crab. Two very formidable bingo players.
Yeah, these are two players who not only are they both excellent players, they also both played each other a lot, many times. Probably dozens and dozens of times. So these are two players who are very familiar with each other's sort of synchronicities, and we'll see.
It's quite possible we're gonna see some major mind games here. It looks like while we are clipping inside of Celeste Mountain, we are closely approaching a ready state.
I did not know you could do that. Is that like a?
I think this is a debug or a mod.
It's like a debug mode thing.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And as we're seeing on the Bingo Sync client, we are about ready to go.
So
Alright.
it's like our OBS is messed up. It's showing us the previous. On the current board, I can tell you some of the things on it if you can't see it yet. We do have 3 1-ups.
And 1-up in 3 chapters. Oh, that is what you meant.
Yep.
Oh no, there is actually 3 1-ups and 1-up in 3 chapters.
Mm-hmm. There is a Wakeberry. The Own Crossing. And that's most of the early stuff, I think.
Blue and Red Heart and Old Sides, which, well, probably isn't first pass.
You know, it could be. Yeah, like how much B-sides are on this board? We have 4 B-sides.
Blue and Red and Resort. 3 hearts and 3 cassettes.
Yeah, so I think 2B is playable here. I wouldn't be shocked.
There's nothing that is needed to be rushed. It's Grappler's start of 3A, but I'm not seeing enough stuff to make it even worth to go into 3A other than 2 keys and 2 chapters. Working towards Blue and Red and Resort. And I guess all optional Theo cutscenes, but that'll take a while anyway.
Yeah, Resort does not seem super strong here. Wouldn't be surprised if both players skip that. Although there isn't a ton in Rage either. There's all collectibles, and there's Cliff Face Berries is pretty quick. That's probably something you could do first pass. But other than that, Temple seems pretty strong. We have Temple A side, 20 Seeker Stuns, All Berries and Rescue.
There is actually All Berries and Shrine, All Berries and Cliff Face, all collectibles in 4A, as well as the hearts and cassette objectives. So 4A seems pretty strong late game. Or like as a win con.
Yeah,
we are seeing both players going for 1-ups, which makes sense, considering all the 1-up objectives. Let's see if they decide to go for multiple 1-ups or space them out over the chapters.
Yeah, so Reed going for Progress. Maybe a Progress 3-up. Crab has 6 berries already, but looks like they're going to be going for 3-up as well.
And it turns blue.
So I imagine we'll see Reed collect here.
Oh! Bingo board giving us a bit of a spoiler, connecting the 3 1-ups to talk to Theo and Crossing. So giving up a lot of progress for 2 quick objectives. And Reed is just carrying this berry chain.
Berries. Yeah. Does not want to stop and collect. Just going to collect at the end of the chapter, I guess.
Oh, that corner boost made me nervous.
Oh.
Oh no. Left side chasm is okay.
There it is.
Did not lose any time for collecting berries. But probably aged about an hour in comparison.
Crab coming out of that with 2 objectives, but Reed with a pretty large progress advantage here.
Yeah, and Reed knows they have the progress advantage, so see what they do with it.
Yeah, we'll see if Reed goes 2B here.
Yeah, there isn't any Bino stuff on the board.
Okay, nope, just 2A. I think that makes sense, especially with Wakeberry on the board. The other thing about 2B is a lot of people don't think about this, but having blue and red in sight instead of just like side B side is actually quite a bit slower if you have to get the blue heart too.
Yeah, the blue heart is quite over the way. We'll see if Crab actually plays B-sides here. Try to get that synergy for the lost progress.
So Reed notably not doing any sort of 1-up in 2A here, despite there is 1-up in 3 chapters on the board, but not seeing that.
Yeah. We did see a pretty crazy progress 1-up in intervention yesterday.
That's right. Yeah, Reed has the ability to do some crazy 1-ups. They did a 4 1-ups round with like 4 of the hardest 1-ups, where they did 4 1-up, Comet, Grind, and Huge Mass or something.
Oh, huge mess sounds tedious.
It's very weird. You have to do a weird order where you like go into books and then go backwards out of books, and then I don't even remember. Anyway, Reed gets a Wakeberry.
Crab actually making up quite a bit of progress here. Almost out of intervention. Greed is now in 4A.
Yeah, and for A here, we talked about we have Shrine Berries, but that's usually not something you do first pass.
Yeah.
They're quite slow.
Although
Faith
with
Berries, though.
yeah, all collectibles being on the board, I feel like picking up the cassette maybe and the late start berries might make sense.
Yeah, potentially.
Because as Reed, you gotta think you are ahead, right? Playing 2A any percent after progress lead in 1A without any major mistakes. But no, Reed is just booking it towards Shrine.
Yep. Juicy going for the
or not going for the blue heart.
We do have 4 blue hearts on the board.
Yep. Although this one is fairly quick to go back for. So this, So as you said, Temple with stunning seekers, killing seekers, berries and rescue. Mirror Temple A side is 4 objectives. 2 keys and 2 chapters.
Yep, as well as 3rd, 4th deal things as well.
Yeah, getting access to that as well. Oh yeah,
Yes,
Crab is doing pretty much the same. Just rushing progress here.
Yep. One thing I'm interested to see this match, so the new objective we have here, 3 hearts and 3 cassettes, there was a bit of a discussion about how much of like an early game or a mid game objective is this. Like, when are we going to see players go for this in matches? Because it's a new objective, there isn't really as much of like a meta about it yet. So it'll be interesting to see like what sort of timing the players go for that with. Because really they could have that like already with Ridge, with 1A, 2A, 4A.
Yeah, yeah. was similar with the one-ups though. Like, I mean, Reed is now going for cliff face berries and picking up the first berry immediately.
Yeah, Reed is confident they're ahead, so they're gonna take the first berry first a little bit faster. Crab thinks they're probably behind, so they skip the first berry and can come back to it. If it's not ticked when they finish cliff face. So we see both players doing different things, but I think both of those things make sense for their positions.
Yeah, definitely. Crab can now mitigate even more of the progress disadvantage if Reed takes this.
Yeah. Crab is, in fact, better than ahead.
So this all comes down to the time of the tick here. If Crab will be going back into cliff face and maybe lose a few seconds to menu, or be the first one to be into tempo.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, and the block isn't cooperating. Oh yeah. Okay.
That didn't matter. He was not going to get that berry in time. So yeah, going into temple here. We'll see if let's see. On this board, in temple, we talked about we have temple A side and rescue berry. So that is incentive to do 5A. But if you do 5B, you're getting into late game first, and we do have some quick late game stuff. We have Reflection Blue Heart. We have... What else do we have? We might actually not have much quick late game stuff. I might be lying to you. We have Bottom Red and Hollows, which is not that quick, but it is late game. And 3 gems in Summit, which is also not super quick. But so there's like a medium amount late game. But I imagine 5A here is what we'll see. But maybe the players will split. 5B does also get kill 2 Seekers faster, you're right. As well as, well no, Seeker stuns, so Seeker stuns, if you do them in Unraveling in 5A, they can be faster, but loses a lot of time.
Crab has just pulled ahead with some faster strats. And will be first into... I keep messing up this checkpoint name. What is it?
That would be
Unraveling. Yeah. So yeah, it's the board is 2-2, and we're all tied up in progress.
Yeah, so I think...
I don't even think the players have picked anything up along the way that differentiates them. So
no,
this is essentially now first to 11.
Pretty much. So the first thing we're going to see here is our players going to immediately go for Seeker stuns. I think you don't like just stop and do them in Unraveling. I think you just get the ones you can that are quick and then finish them in rescue or whatever. But if you want that objective, it's something you could go for immediately.
I mean, if you go for it immediately, then you're pretty much giving up the kill 2 Seeker objective, which is quicker to do.
Yep, as well as potentially Temple A side and Rescue Berry.
Yeah, seems pretty risky to do it early. But yeah, I do see some strats here that I don't think are any percent necessarily, and more focused on bonking the Seeker in every room.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where if you could lose half a second and get a Seeker buff, it's usually worth it.
So the players displaying their immense amount of bingo experience.
Yep, we'll see if either player goes bingo drop here for Seeker kill. No.
Oh, true.
Does not. Ooh,
oh, Crab seems to be going for it. And gets it.
Excellent.
Reed seems to be skipping Search entirely, though.
Yeah, so this is... It gives an advantage. Actually, this doesn't even... This is slower for 2 Seeker kills, right? I'm pretty sure if you need 2, it's faster to just run to rescue.
Yeah, I would think so as well, especially since we just saw with Crab that Seeker kill is not guaranteed. You can lose a lot
Yeah,
of time
Crab misses
retrying that.
and that's actually huge because Reed is now ahead
Yeah,
and is advantage to all four of these objectives, really.
but I imagine, well, maybe Reed stops to go for Seeker stuns. So Mirror Temple A
Maybe.
side could still go either way, but
I wouldn't stop for them until at least after you do both kills. Maybe after Rescue Berry too.
oh
We do
wow, that was
see two
quick.
Seeker kills turn purple. Oh, okay. So Crab is like one stun ahead right now. It's like 11 to 10. So we'll see which player decides to stop and go for it. Again, I would not do it till after Rescue Berry.
Did I have a
Rescue
counting
Berry
moment?
gets blue. Wow. And we see Reed getting the berry right here, but then just doesn't immediately tick it. Gets out of the room first, and that's enough.
Wow.
Wow, that was so close. And Crab gets
Rin,
Seeker
this is
Stun.
a additional mod called Bingo Client that integrates with the Bingo sync room.
Yeah, so Crab gets Seeker Stuns here and is slightly ahead in Mirror Temple A side. We'll see who wins that. It really just comes down to who takes it down in the second to last room.
Yeah.
And it is
Oh,
Crab
and
who
it's
takes it
Crab.
up. So Reed
But Reed,
needs to grab Theo here.
this room is not over till it's over. Oh,
Oh
and
my
Crab
God,
is actually first
Ooh.
into the next room.
Oh my god.
And a little bit cleaner execution on that final room here from Crab does it.
I mean, all
Oh,
four
and
of
both
them.
players immediately back into Resort to get that 2 keys and 2 chapters objective, I'm imagining.
Wow.
Exact same route.
Okay, but here's the thing. Crab's gonna win this because Crab has 2 keys in Temple. Reed does not.
Oh, so the bingo drop wasn't even necessarily for the Seeker kill. You also get an extra key from it. That's smart. Right. Because usually you'd be going depth key. Yeah, and Crab sticks it.
Crab takes 2 and 2. Does continue.
Which should tell Reed that Crab is in Resort, if not ahead.
Yeah, I mean, you know, there's nowhere else Crab could be with that tick. So both players are playing grabless.
Are you taking a few
Crab
unfortunate deaths?
in
Yeah.
execution.
Crab getting past the hard part in that room. And Crab
And
will
it
start
turns
turns blue as
blue.
well.
Okay, so now into reflection for Crab.
Makes sense. We'll see what Reed does now.
Into 2A. So
Back
I
his
imagine
side.
this is 1-ups, or maybe hard sync steps.
Yeah, it could be.
Could be both.
Definitely getting the cassette and the 1-up, I'm assuming. I don't think you do 2B now.
No, I don't think there's a reason to do 2B right now. Reed collecting that berry. Not ideal, but
There's plenty more where that came from.
yep. if redirects this right, they can end right at the cassette too. So
Oh yeah.
we see Crab going up to the blue heart. Does take the right path.
It's really looking like making a 4 blue hearts play. Crab back into starter for
Also
a
for 1-up?
1-up? Yeah.
I like starting in Ridge here though, because even if you get locked out, you're getting progress to all collectibles.
Yeah, and you can maybe also pick up the cassette.
Reed getting this heart here.
Oh no! Crab dashing confidently into spikes.
That's rough. So not going to be getting the 1-up, and also not going to be getting all these berries. So gonna have to come back for all those berries later juncture.
Yeah, with the next 1-up attempt, maybe at least the late berries are still open. Oh! Every time I see that strat, my heart drops for a second.
This is a scary demo. Supposedly it's easier than Lux, but yeah, it is a little bit scary.
Alright, read onto their third, I think it is.
They have 1A. I think this is only their second.
1A and 2A, and this is.
Did they
4A
get
now.
2A? I missed that.
Yeah.
Okay, so Reed just needs
Also going for a 1-up, it looks
4A
like.
cassette here, and that will finish 3 hearts, 3 cassettes. And
Crab,
getting
meanwhile,
finish the 1-ups.
Shrine up for Crab.
Yeah, I like this from Crab. Reed is likely doing 1-ups and heart cassettes and stuff, so
Yeah,
looking for
very
shrine.
close to 3 hearts and 3 cassettes actually.
Yep. So 1-ups turns purple. And I imagine we'll see 3 hearts, 3 cassettes turn purple very shortly here. So it's going to be 9-5. Really unfortunate for Reed that there were all those close lockouts, because this could be a very different match if it was 8-6 or 7-7, but Reed definitely still has a shot here.
Yeah, there's some objectives that really could go either way. All collectibles in 1A, which no, Reed is actually advantage towards.
Alright, and here's 2B.
Crab now doing bottom route and hollows, which puts them to 10. Afterwards.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, Crab doesn't have an obvious win con here yet. There's a lot of things he could go for, but
Hey, there's really no clear path. I guess it's important for Reed to pick up those 4 blue hearts, since Crab already has 2.
Yeah, although there isn't a super fast blue heart to go for here. Like with Crab already having 6A heart, I'd say he's an advantage for that. You can just grab 1A and 2A.
True.
Whereas Reed has
Though
to either go
Reed
into Reflection
has
or...
mass access, so it's not too bad to pick up.
It's not
Absorb
terrible. It's definitely slower though.
Yeah.
There we are. I think we are going to see that from Crab.
Yep. Reed is almost done with 2B, so this could be, again, very close.
Yeah, if Reed goes to Mess right now. But no,
Goes to
we see all collectibles
City
when I...
to... What? Oh, collectibles, right. That is unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, that's an objective I think Reed kind of needed.
Yeah. So Crab is also continuing 1A here for the same objective that Reed is doing.
Yeah.
I think Reed should have this.
Well, I don't know. Crab actually might have this, because Crab got all the start berries in the 1-up.
Oh, really? Oh, right. Because they talked to Theo as well there.
Yeah. So, Crab just needs these last couple crossing berries, and then the chasm ones. Ooh, but return to the map. Oh, they already have the last 2.
Oh.
I think this Crab, although Reed does have the cassette, so...
Oh, this is so close. That is not what you need right now.
Restart chapter, and you just get the 2 right berries, and yeah, this is definitely... Crab is gonna win this. And I would not be surprised if that's a GG call from Reed.
Yeah, at this point, making all those reads.
So yep, there it is. Tick from Crab and a GG from Reed.
And 4 A's. Understandable with how close the lockouts were in some cases.
Yeah, I mean, the score does not tell the story of this match. There were so many super close lockouts. Basically every objective until, like, grab the start of 3A with the lockout one way or the other, and it just happened that Crab won more of those and was able to keep that advantage.
Alright, our players are ready, so starting shortly.
We have Tio Enjoyer versus Birdie. All right, so on this bingo board,
We have the old bingo board.
So the first
But
thing
on
I
the
see
actual
on this
bingo
board,
board,
I see both Talk to Theo and Awake and Poem in 2A. Also Talk to Theo and Crossing.
I see 4-winged. Grab the start of 4A. Mirror Temple A side again.
Winged Golden.
Oh.
Could do Winged Golden and then get 4-winged and Awake.
That is a play.
It is a play. It's probably not a good play. You probably lose to just getting 4-winged and Resort, but
Yeah. Speaking of resort, there's 2 mass orders. The winged
there's Diary
objectives,
and Chaff.
obviously. Diary and Shaft, yeah. Berries and Pico. Well, that's about it. Oh, and Library.
And of course, 4-winged would be
Yeah.
something you'd want there. Yeah, maybe you could play Resort, but there's also Strength and Ridge. To grab the start. There's the old trail berries.
And then there's also Key in Depth, Mirror Temple Cassette. I think I also saw Theo cutscenes.
3 Seeker kills.
Oh no, okay. Yeah, so you do want to be first into Temple, kinda.
Yeah, Temple is fairly strong here. Anyway, both players going into City. We will see. They go for here. I imagine Theo and Crossing is probably bait. I don't think we'll see either player go for it.
Yeah, the 2 wings I see. There's also 50 berries and 100 berries. So that will be interesting if maybe... Oh! Jack's deciding not to go for the first winged.
Interesting. Yeah, so we do have some berry objectives. Also 15 and 2. Which is always an interesting objective, because technically you can get it pretty early. But it does require a decent amount of commitment.
We also have the exclusive intel that Theo is not a fan of this board. As provided by the Bingo Sync chat. So, Jack's having a few unfortunate execution mishaps, which allows Theo to get both the start and the chasm winged and still be slightly ahead in progress. That is unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine Jax's reasoning for skipping winged was probably he wanted to get a little bit of a progress lead, and that has not really happened.
I think we've been having a lot of GSA here, but Jack's stream keeps cutting out a bit.
Yeah, so both players grab the Bino. What Bino objective do we have? 8 Binos, okay.
Seeing Jax pick up a few intervention berries.
Yeah, he grabbed the 1. It's interesting.
Yeah, I think one of the slower intervention berries, the first one. Skips this
Yeah,
one,
it
which
is.
I think is much faster.
Yep. The first one is slower than like the second one, the third one, the fifth and sixth one, but I think probably just grabbed it based on muscle memory or something. I don't think he consciously thought, I want one berry in intervention.
Yeah. And Jax
Anyway,
gets talk to Theo and awake.
if Tio
Theo,
goes up to
meanwhile,
club,
is probably deciding to hide that information.
no,
Oh no.
just took a minute to get up there. Took some slightly unusual movement. Yeah, Jax does have a little bit of a lead coming out of sight, and we do see the resort skip.
Not much to do with it, at least. Grab the Star of 4A, of course, could now go Jack's way, but can't capitalize on the four-winged by getting that ultra-winged.
Yep, but neither player got the awake winged either.
Oh,
so.
true. Yeah.
But anyway, Tio's in resort, so he can just get 2 winged here.
That will be
Yep,
interesting.
Tio
I
gonna be
imagine
in
that
resort here.
Jax will be taking Grappler's start very soon. Tells Tio that he can hide all of the result stuff.
Yep. And resort here, Tio's gonna be getting a mess order, diary and shaft, 4 winged. So you can't hide that too long.
Yeah,
you don't know what wing Jax has. Yeah, so not a ton of objectives first pass in resort here. So Jax grabs the ultra winged. That is
And
his first
the next
wing.
berry. So I'm assuming this is just ultra ARB.
Oh yeah, I forgot that was on the board.
So there is not really any B-side stuff on this board except for a Reach Library.
Wait, no, not ultra herb. Skip some berries. Just got the first couple, which is interesting.
Yeah. Tio now marks 4 wing, which is a good delay, although that could have lost to Jax getting the other wings.
Yep, it's also not a delay.
Oh, yeah, never mind.
just got his fourth wing.
If you only look at the board, not the actual stream.
Yeah, so I think if I were to play this game, I would rather be in Jax's position here.
Yeah, same.
You-
I just don't see anything in Resort.
Yeah, I don't think Resort is super strong. Jax is going to be winning the temple stuff, which is pretty quick. And then, I mean, we'll see how things shake out after that. There is a lot of berry synergy on this board. Neither player has really been going for many berries. Jax has like 10. I think Tio is about the same.
Yeah. I imagine after the initial temple rush is done, maybe we'll see a few more berries.
Yeah, 15 and 2 especially I expect to see.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's part of, like, some of the berries Jack's got in the Ridge. We're setting up for that. You can get 15 in the Ridge pretty quick. Yeah, coming into Temple here, I imagine we'll see Jack's Rush, Depth Key, as well as... What's that?
That demo, I can't.
Theo do the 3-week cassette demo.
Yeah.
I missed it, but I saw that strat the other day, and yeah, that's. I think it's just like one of the ones that's out of a full height hyper or whatever, but man, it is. It looks so funny.
Theo has about some minutes, well, a bit less than that probably, in Resort left. I think that gives Jax enough time to pick up the depth key as well, assuming that Theo even skips Ridge.
Oh yeah, Jax is easily going to be able to get depth key here. And then we'll see what he does after that.
What late game is there? There's Reach 2K.
There's 2K and 2.5K gems.
That's it. So late game access.
And the Easter egg
Much.
room in Reflection, which is
Oh,
a
yeah.
pretty long objective that is below. At least in Summit you can get berries. In Reflection you were just playing for like 3 minutes. There's the depth key from Jax. And the question is, where do you go next? And it looks like the answer is 5A from Jax. Or
Yeah,
at least
I would
getting...
Unraveling and then quit out, probably. Although there is kill 3 Seekers still.
Maybe you could, if you were gonna put out, then you probably could have just done that after Dubsky.
Also
like,
true, yeah.
You weren't that far in the checkpoint at Dubsky.
Yeah, because do you assume that you just locked Tio out of everything, or do you think that Tio maybe went?
No, I think Jax suspects that Tio was in Resort.
Oh. Just like last match, we're seeing players just drop everything they're doing and just back into the same checkpoint. Talk to Theo and Crossing.
That was so incredibly close. That is insane.
And very, very unfortunate for Theo. Wow.
That is so funny. That objective has been on the board. Players could have gotten that for the last 12 minutes at any time, and they both decided to go for it at the exact same time. Babe, wake up. It's talk to Theo and Crossing time. Anyway, we do see Tio going for trailberries here.
Yeah, I like that from Theo. It's it doesn't lose too much time, and at least it takes some of the advantage away from Jax, who could potentially go back and finish it anytime.
Yeah, and I mean, we'll see if Tio ends up going for more of this berry synergy. Because it also sets up well to be able to get things like 15 and 2. And then once you get that, you're pretty close to 50. Potentially 10 and 5, so...
Oh yeah,
And then
Tio now
takes the resort
marking
stuff.
off. Oh, Jack's quitting out at Search to go back into 1A again.
Eric's having a bit
Thinking.
of a think here. Yeah, I mean, at this point, this is where you really have a lot of options.
Yeah, you're certain now that you are ahead in tempo, so you don't need to rush the Seeker kills immediately. But this is
Yep,
a
and there's some,
15 and 2 play, I'm assuming?
that's what I'm thinking, yeah.
Yeah, but that takes quite a
Um,
bit.
Yeah, I think it's smart though. You see the old Trailberries tick, you want to take away that potential synergy from Tio.
Oh, yeah.
So I imagine this is probably going to be City and Ridge for 15 and 2. Is probably the fastest.
Tio, meanwhile,
Tio
is
into
skipping
Reflection.
tempo and goes into reflection, yeah. Easter
What
egg room?
is Tio doing? Okay, no, returns to map. I wonder if Tio misread that as 15 and
Again,
Hollows.
I don't remember the last time I saw a Hollows cutscene on a bingo board.
I
It's always
every time
Easter egg
Easter egg
room.
movement is on the board, I always misread it as Reflection cutscene and Hollows. I have like 3 times, like ticked it because I thought it was
Oh no.
Hollows.
Yeah. And to me it feels like it never is. Like this.
No, I feel like I see Hollows more, but maybe it's because I always think it's Hollows instead of. Anyway, so Tio isn't on it. I'm really not sure what you're getting in Summit here either.
8
I mean,
binos?
nine
You're
winged.
working...
That's what the
9 winged and you're working towards 15 in the 2 maybe?
and binos. Yeah, actually, it's more binos than winged. You're right. Binos is the play here. You can get the 8 binos in 1K, or potentially you just get the 500 meters ones and then go back into Ridge or something.
Jackson 2A for more berries, I'm assuming. Also working towards 10 and 5.
And then, yeah, I mean, you're getting progress, of course, toward later being able to come back for
Yeah,
gems.
I'm just wondering, because 4A probably would be faster to finish out.
And we do see 4A from Tio. Is 15 and
This is more
2 is
more
gonna be fun.
binos, I think.
Oh, this is binos. Yeah, you're right.
Picked up Cliff Face binos now on Shrine. But also getting 1 or 2 Shrine
Also
berries.
getting 2 berries, because that gets him to 15 if he grabs these 2. Is that gonna make it?
Oh no!
Yeah, sometimes on these berries, you've got to just take the L and wait for the block. Come back.
Mm.
So Teal is 15 in Ridge.
Goes
3B.
into 3B. I don't see. Oh, for the bino.
It's Reach Library. Oh, it's just a bino.
Yeah, I'm glad it's just the bino, because
I need
that
one
would
more
have been
bino.
weird. Yeah. Goes back into Summit, presumably to finish out the binos and get more berries, but I think Jax should have the 15 and 2 here. It's almost done with intervention.
Yeah. Do you have skip a bino? Or no? No, you need to go to 1K to get the last bino. It's only 3 and 500. Yeah, anyway, Jax finishes a 15 and 2 here with the winged, which is nice. Tio just rides that block to its death. Back in the temple.
Needs to finish
temple
Temple
A5
for late
next
game,
one.
yeah. And
And then just
Seeker
unlock
kills
the late
and
game.
A sides, yeah.
Did Tio... Hold on. Someone check the VOD. Did Tio take the wrong mess order?
Oh boy.
Because why would... I didn't see which one he did, but he took the slower mess order, and I don't think that's the one he would have done.
I mean, this one has towels second as opposed to towels last.
He did take the correct one. People in chat are saying. So maybe he thought Jax was in Resort and would have taken the faster mess order.
I think it's a... Oh, the towels actually took the wings though, right? The 4 winged.
Maybe that was it, yeah. Pretty earlier winged. That would make sense. We saw Jax doing some Seeker kills there. Has not tech to kill 3 Seekers. I don't know if he doesn't have 3 or if delaying that.
I would assume he has 3. I don't think he needs to necessarily tick it yet, though. I think
Yeah,
the
maybe.
albino signals that Tio is in Summit.
Yep, not taking Temple A side either. So. They went to
Tio
Resort.
going back for Pico, perhaps?
Either Pico or just the other mess order. It looks like it's the mess order. Which is a little bit unfortunate for Jax, being here.
Oh, yeah.
But you're getting some.
I think
you're
Jax
gonna
is
get
happy getting the berries. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're probably gonna get 50 berries here. It works toward 10 and 5.
Yeah, if the timing is right, Tio can perhaps get the mess order and then go into Pico. The Jax won't be able to do anything about it.
Perhaps. Although if Jax rushes straight into Pico, he'll get there first. I mean,
Yeah.
Why did Tio do the slower order first pass? We were just talking about that. I think it's because he thought maybe Jax was in Resort, or earlier Wingedberry is the other possible reason.
Actually, I think Tio knew that Jax was in Ridge because of Grappler's start of 4A,
You are right. That is
but
correct.
is still not sure when the 4th wing will come around.
Yeah.
So.
Tio has 40 berries. I think I saw Jax has like 45. So this is going to be pretty close for 50 berries. Especially if he doesn't go for it immediately. Tio takes the mess order right here, which is the perfect time, because Jax can now go into Pico.
Oh, the perfect time for Jax, yes.
Yes, I meant for Jax, not for Tio.
Doesn't see it or decides not to go for it, though. Oh, no, there is a secret.
Might not have seen it until after talking to
Yeah, yeah. The stream delay. Yeah, now taking the... Is it now? Yeah, taking the temple stuff now, and then going to Pico. That will probably let Tio take the 50 berries.
Yeah, Tio is definitely going to win 50 berries here, which I think 50 berries is more important to go for. It is a faster objective to clean up.
And it works towards 105 and 100 berries, although we might not see that.
And yes, Tio also working toward 10 and 5 here. And Pico berries, unfortunately, do not count for berry objectives, other than specific berries in Pico objectives. Berries in Pico is not a super quick Pico objective. It takes probably a solid minute and a half if you have good execution. Possibly more if you have bingo execution.
Here's the 50 berries from Tio. And now what?
I
Assuming
imagine 10 and 5 is
5
next.
is not too far away with
Winged
Summit in
gold.
progress.
Okay.
Yeah, there isn't that much synergy left to grab, so... Actually, how many winged does TU have at this point? Does it get 9?
Tio has a 2 in city, a 2 in resort. It's 500 meters, an old trail. So Tio has 6. This will get him to 7, and then he can go into Awake for 8. You would need either depth or 1.5k. So meanwhile, now it is Tio who's going for a pretty much synergy-less objective. I mean, it is good for Winged, but while Jax is going for berry stuff, oh no, Tio. Could Jax win 10 and 5? I don't know how.
I don't. Jax picked up a couple berries in Temple, but has 10 in Resort now. Thinking about Summit.
And if you get 10 in, I don't know how many.
So
So
City
Jax has
and
10 in Resort, 10 in City, 10 in Ridge,
10 in Sight.
10 in Sight, so
well,
maybe
probably
10 in Summit here. So Jax could steal this while Tio is doing Winged Golden.
Yep. And also, I think Jax is also sitting at 6 winged.
And Jax already
Banana
had...
will be close though. I think if Tio goes back to Summit after this, Tio still gets 9 winged.
Yeah, Jax already has the Awake Berry, and he has access to depth. So Jax could get 9 winged just at 500 meters. Or wait,
Oh yeah,
am I counting
Tio now
wrong?
going into Awake
No,
to get
Jax would need 1500. Okay, so yeah, Tio going for winged just needs this, and then either depth or...
Which I assume you go Summit, since you also want to pick up the cassette eventually.
I would think you probably go Summit, yeah.
Already has 1.5k unlocked, yeah, then it's...
I think Jax is very close to 10 and 4 here, or 10 and 5.
Oh, this is only Jax 6, okay.
Yeah, he needs to go
Yeah,
back
this goes to
tomorrow.
Tio. So Jax gets 10 and 5, Tio gets 9 wings. Has a bit of an advantage to 2k and 2.5k gems. And
Yep.
7. Did Tio pick up the cassette? I didn't pay attention.
Tio did just grab the cassette, yep.
Okay, yeah.
But those two summit things are not a win con. Does need one more thing, and it is now Jax who is advantaged to 100 berries, very slightly.
Yeah.
And then,
Tio has access to 3B. I think library is like
ooh, yeah.
2 minutes?
No, library is like 1 minute.
Okay, yeah.
For Tio,
with better execution, yeah, definitely, I can see it.
For Tio, 2 minutes is beating 3B.
Right.
I think surely he has a subtail for 3B, right? I don't actually know what Tio's 3B PB is off the top of my head, but it's around 2 minutes. Okay, yeah, Tio has a 150 deal, so.
Damn. That's crazy.
You've got sub 2s and runs. Yeah, that's...
So Jax Either doesn't have enough berries yet, or hasn't taken turn 5.
Might need to go back to a chapter for the last couple berries or
Yeah.
something. Oh yeah,
Oh
only
yeah,
has
missing
8
2 in
Ridge.
Ridge. Yeah.
Yep, so
That
that'll
will
be
be
pretty
quick,
fast.
though.
And then Jax will get 10 and 5, and then I think as Jax, you might need to steal a library.
Yeah, it's either library or the summit stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you have to break Tio's Gwincon. Tio is gonna win gems. So you have to either go library or go 7B. And I would not want to go 7B here. But Jax might go 7B. Or might go for gems, which would be a losing play.
Yeah. Though we'll see that tick
Okay.
until relatively soon.
That is, of all the ways to die in this room, that is certainly one of them. There's Easter egg sitting right there, but Jax can't afford to go for Easter egg. Because if Jax goes for Easter egg, Teal wins with Summit and 3B.
So Jax will probably get the cassette here, and then soon after Teal will get the gem. So Jax won't lose too much time. But if Jax goes for 7B, Teal can just go for Easter egg room.
Yeah,
Or library. It's looking rough.
So Teal goes
It
library.
looks like library. Yeah.
Okay, Easter egg.
Okay, this is... Oh wow, this could actually come down to a 7B race.
So this sort of comes down to what Tio does. After library here, if Tio follows Jackson to reflection, then that's really good for Jax. If Tio goes into 7B after this, he basically wins. So yeah, we'll see. I think
This is a very fast 3B.
Yeah, I mean, this is sort of a mind game, because as Tio, you're thinking, okay, is Jax going into 7B or something? Was Jax here for library? Just need the one objective. Alternatively, you could go 100 berries here, because Jax is probably not doing that. And Tio goes 7B. So just makes the right guess. Jax did not. And that should be a win.
Tio
Well,
could
hold on,
theoretically
hold on,
also
hold on.
multitask. Oh boy! Well, we have a 7B race at our hands.
Yeah, I would not rely on Tio failing too much here. The Tio, of course, has an excellent 7B.
Tio might also not full commit to this, but we'll see.
I think that's the only chance Jax has. I think if Tio quits out at some point, then Jax can win. Otherwise, I don't really see it. I mean, obviously it's 7B, things happen. It's possible, but Tio's just so good at this level. Or berry counts for both. Jax has like 62 or something. Tio has like 50. So it's pretty close. Yeah, it does not look like Tio is quitting out here. You're not going to quit out at 1500. If you were going to do that, you would have done that probably at 1K. Couple retries from Tio there, but Jax is still pretty far behind.
Yeah. I think Jax entered not too long after. But he was like, I think 20 seconds ahead into the chapter.
Yeah, I mean, Jax has pretty much kept up with the pace, but Tio just had that advantage. And yep, there's the
Oh,
text.
right, it's just the 2K. It's not even finished 7B, I forgot. That is
Yep,
GG.
that is it. GG.
This was closer in the end.
Yeah, I mean, that
than
was,
it looked like.
if Jax had gone 7B there at the end instead of going into reflection for a bit, I think he would have won that objective. And then, I mean, it's still you still got to make some plays where you have to win both remaining objectives, but it's definitely very winnable.
Yeah, like, the entire game kind of was very even in objectives and progress. Tio just pulled ahead that little bit in the end.
Yeah, I mean, Tio cashing in on that Summit City really helped. Also, Jax, I think the biggest thing here, Jax not getting 50 berries when he was at like 45 and then went into
Oh,
Pico.
true, and then Pico,
I
yeah.
think cleaning up 50 berries there would have been huge.
That is the input
The old
cut.
board.
And with that, our players are off. So what's on this board? I see a lot of early stuff. Like a lot. We have Sight Blue Hut, All Collectibles 2A and 1-Up 2A, and Theo Awake, and Mess Order, and Beliebee, and Four Winged, and Books Tower Chest. Oh my gosh, and 10 berries 3A, and Cloudless Start of 3A, and all berries instead of. Oh my gosh! There is so much in early game on this board. What? I feel like these sorts of boards where there's so much stuff in the first couple chapters are the most exciting because the players don't get half the game to think about what they're going to do to form a plan. They've got to decide stat. And so we often get some crazy, wacky, Aladdin shenanigans going off on these sorts of boards.
We see a couple people in chat suggesting skipping 2A, which there's a lot in 3A. There's also a decent amount in 2A. Could you skip City on this board? I mean, it's the classic problem is if you skip City and your opponent skips Sight, then you probably just lose. But
your opponent might
an
not
option.
know.
Yeah.
I mean, if we see a City skip, I'm going to be... Okay, no. Both players head into City. Thank goodness.
Both players are too scared.
I mean, deciding to skip City in the first minute of a match in a board as confusing as this one, like, you don't know if it's like a good play or if you're just throwing the game when you skip City.
Yeah, that's the other issue with City Skip is you have a minute to decide that you're going to do it. And it's a very committal decision.
Yeah, so I'm happy to see, well, I'm not happy to see no City skips, but I'm content to see no City skips because it means that both players are approaching this game reasonably.
Yeah. So we do see another point about the possible side skip is you could get the heart and the 1-up and then skip.
That, in fact,
which is, yeah,
that
that could be strong.
Okay, the thing about site skip on this board is usually you site skip in order to bait your opponent into resort and deprive them of any objectives. The problem with doing that in this situation is that the objectives in resort are so varied, and like you've got Glabeless Start of 3A with all berries Start of 3A and 10 in 3A. You can't get all three of those. Well, you can, but you'll lose like 3 minutes and you'll lose all the advantage you get from site skipping. There's two different huge mess orders. It's just so tough to figure out what to prioritize in 3A.
Yeah, honestly, so the other option that we could actually consider is there is Reach Bird's Nest in Epilogue on the board.
Okay.
It's not out of the question with how much stuff there is in early game and how divided it is that the players just take different routes and one of them can just save their skip to skip Summit into Epilogue.
We are seeing a 1-up lace from the looks of it, considering Tempo and Talia are both grabbing berries. Talia collected, but there's 8 berries in Stud Hub, so you could technically collect up to 2. Talia taking an unconventional route, letting Tempo catch up a little bit, but the objective turns purple. So, seems we have a small bit of string play.
Also, very excitingly, in contrast to
Oh my gosh,
yesterday,
that was so close.
in contrast to yesterday, there is no question about what color Talia is. Yesterday, there was a weird thing in Bingo Sync where she was red, but she was ticking things in purple. It was very confusing.
Yeah, Bingo Sync is a slightly broken website, but it's okay. With that, Talia has an objective and the progress leads, which might matter if Theo and Awake is the next thing getting lashed. I mean, I have to assume it is. Theo and Awake loses so little time on first pass. It's like 8 seconds, making it one of the fastest objectives in the game, period. So, if you're playing to Awake, you might as well get it.
Talia having a slight moment with the clone block there, which has allowed Tempo to catch up a bit. We're in the same room, but it is a long room.
I had to say, Tempo also going for some berries. Why is Tempo going for some berries?
There is 35 berries on the board. And that is
that's
something that you could get decently early with other synergies with your 10 berries in 3A, all berries start at 3A, 15 berries in 3 chapters. It goes well.
Yeah, certainly. I think there's enough stuff in Resort that I'm not 100. Just as I say Talia would not skip Theo and Awake, Talia skips Theo and Awake. So that happened. The objective turns orange.
Yeah. I mean, if you think that 3A is the rush, then you can make an argument for skipping Theo. The argument against it is that, as you said, 3A has a lot of objectives, but they're divided. It's difficult to get all of them at the same time, if not impossible.
Well, Talia's gonna try. We see no Glabless, but going for berries in 3A. I think that's reasonable. But you spend like an extra minute and a half grabbing berries, and you get 2 objectives for it, just straight off the bat. And I bet Tempo's gonna do the same thing, considering Tempo was doing berries earlier.
Yeah, given Tempo was getting some berries in intervention, well, maybe not. Tempo was Glabless. And I assume... Okay, he's going for some berries. I assume he's not going to go all the berries grabless because he probably hasn't practiced that.
He might.
And he dies with 2 berries.
That's unfortunate.
Meanwhile, yeah, Talia is definitely going for all start berries. If you weren't going for all of them, you would definitely skip the ones over here. It's also possible that from losing 1-up in 2A and then winning Theo in Awake, Tempo just assumes he's behind, and that's why he's going for Grabless.
That's also possible. Yeah, okay, Tempo not getting all the berries, it seems, and might be able to catch up, depending on how long Talia spends on berries.
Yeah, well, Tempo is now slightly ahead in progress.
Yeah, never mind, I forgot what bloom Talia was in. For winged berries, turns orange, mostly because Talia just didn't commit to the early winged berries.
Right, yeah, I was...
Talia, you're missing a berry. Talia, there's a berry. No, wait, no. Oh no.
Okay, I think the four winged takeoff threw off Talia, and she thought she was behind.
She's pausing. She has to know.
So
she has to realize. Is she gonna go back?
The last two berries.
Is she gonna go back for them? No, she's continuing forward. Oh no. It's fine. She's not going to lose the objectives, but you played so much. You put so much time into 10 berries and Blie.
Especially, like, I can understand skipping the berry to the left, where you leave the room with Yasig if you know how to do Yasig. Because that berry is slow. But you'd think you could at least get the fast one, which would also be your 10th in the chapter. And it works out, because Talia still gets 10 berries in 3A and then quits out.
Oh, and quits
Tempo's
out.
getting
Okay.
side blue.
And skips? Skips. Okay. I'm not sure why, but I'm also not sure why not. I guess there are berries here. Yeah, I guess this works for
35 berries, 15 and 3. This works.
Okay, so
These are certainly decisions that the players are making.
seeing 10 berries in 3A, I wonder if Tempo commits to the bad huge mess order, thinking he's behind. I think that's very much a possibility. Yeah, and that's what happens.
Yep. I think that's probably what I would do in his position.
Yeah, you don't know Talia skipped 3A after huge mess, and well, you're just playing to get objectives at this point.
And doing this mid 3A skip does allow Talia to go for 3 seeded berries and 1 up in 5A.
Yeah,
Which
I guess this does let
there are some
Talia
interesting
stay.
options, certainly.
Talia is not far behind to 5A. No, it's hard to say. They're pretty even to 5A, but with Tempo doing the bad mess order, Talia might actually be ahead.
Yeah, and if she commits somewhat to 35 berries, she may well be advantaged to that, just because 4A berries are faster than 3A berries.
Well, from the looks of it, she's grabbed a couple at least. And there are some fast berries in 3A, which Tempo won't get if he skips, and as Tempo, I would expect to skip 4A just because there's nothing in... There's you wouldn't want to play 4A because there's very little in Summit. I mean, there's like 3 objectives, but they're so deep in. And you also don't want to, like, play 4A because there's nothing in 4A. So it seems reasonable to 4A skip as Tempo. I'm not sure. Oh, it's hard to say. This board is so weird. Like, there are progress boards, and then every once in a while you get a board that looks like this, and it's flummoxing for the commentators, it's flummoxing for the players too. It's so difficult to out something unconventional like this. I believe that
presumably
Bird's
would be
Nest.
faster. Like, if you've already reached 2K and 7B, presumably that's faster, because
Yeah,
5 gems is
definitely.
also 2K and 7A.
Mm-hmm. And, well, 7A is just longer than 7B. Each checkpoint is, especially the later ones.
On the other hand, from like getting the cassette, it would be faster to get to 5 gems and then Bird's Nest rather than going into 7B.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Who's ahead?
Cliff Face versus Presidential Suite. Bergie.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. It seems like Talia's taken a couple slow deaths, but Tempo's also grabbing some berries. I don't know.
Yeah, okay, so Tempo is at 26 berries, and Talia is at, when she collects this, we will see
If
When
she
she
collects
collects
this.
this, we will see.
Oh,
29. Okay, so it's very close to 35 berries.
yeah, okay. Wait, Talia might... Oh, does Talia get it with 1-up and 5A?
Yeah, if
Oh
she
my
goes
gosh.
for the 1-up and
Okay.
gets the 1-up, and she is
Celeste.
first out of the chapter.
Yeah, 1-up and 5A is already a stressful objective. Having to contend with possibly losing a second objective makes it even more stressful. We'll have to see how Talia handles this. She might skip the 1-up, and I would not blame her if she does. No. But she's going for berries at least. No, she's gonna high roll it. Go for the 1-up. This is dangerous to say the least. And if she messes up, it's 2 objectives at stake. No. Okay, eyes on Tempo now. If Tempo gets this 1-up really cleanly, then Tempo can steal 2 objectives. Talia is still going for berries.
No. I think if she abandoned the 1-up but committed to berries there, she might still have won 35.
Oh, that's so unfortunate.
The tempo dies!
Oh, Tempo's still going for it. Oh my gosh. Wait, Talia can win 35 now if Talia commits to it. Like, now. Wait. Okay, Tempo collects a berry. Don't go this way, don't go this way! Oh my gosh, these berries are so bad for the 1-up.
Okay, it looks like Talia's going up for the winged, so she's going for some fast berries and depths to finish 35.
Okay. Tempo is 3 berries away, because Tempo got a slow berry, but it's fine. 32. 1-up 5A. Oh my gosh, they both turn
It
orange.
turned orange.
Oh, that is so unfortunate for Talia. Good on Tempo for keeping
Yeah.
composure after failing that 1-up and going back to it, because that is huge.
Yeah, like if with Talia doing the mid 3A skip, that was like if she got both of those objectives, 1-up in 5A and 35 berries, then that would very much kind of justify the skip, I think. She is still going to get 3 seeded, so
Yeah,
that's
but
something at least. But
it's something.
as
but
it is, it's swung more in Tempo's favor, and so
Alright.
yeah.
So, big things have happened. I'm sure both players are looking at the board and thinking to themselves, what now? Yeah, Talia's literally looking at the board and thinking to herself, what now? It's hard to say. Huge match. Finishing out Starberries? I mean, maybe?
It works for 15 and 3 still.
Well, I guess, but you can also work towards 15 and 3 by, well, redoing Huge Mess and getting the fast mess order. Which, hold up. Why is
Tempo
Tempo
never
not...
ticked his mess order.
He did it, right? People can confirm I know he went into books first. People can confirm he didn't, like, mess up the mess order? He did towers and then chess? Tempo did books, chess, towers? I'm seeing in chat? Oh no, really? Oh, so that's so unfortunate.
Yeah, if you do the slower mess order and also do it wrong, that's
Yeah, that
this is
that would
still
be
good
huge.
for Tempo, the current game state, because by obviously he's just gotten the 5A blue heart for progress to 7 hearts later. By continuing through 5A instead of going into 5B, he can get 5 keys in 2 chapters. and obviously he's just ahead in objectives to start with.
Yeah, that's reasonable. Talia having a decision. 5B, huge mess, huge mess. I mean, this is fine. You get Chessbook's Tower, you work towards 5 keys in 2 chapters, even though Talia is probably not going to get it, and you work towards 15 berries in 3 chapters. Oh, and you also get progress towards Leech Library. Even progress, because Tempo did demo and did not get the cassette.
Right, which also means that Tempo is not fully set up to get 5 keys in 2 chapters yet, but
That's fair.
he is currently a lot closer to it than Talia.
Talia? Oh no. Chess?
She realizes. Okay.
She figures it out. The Bingo client does not currently have functionality to show arrows, the way that you all are seeing on the Bingo board. That was a recent change to the generator to show arrows next to the words chess, books, and towers to indicate in which direction you have to go. Bingo client has not yet been updated to be compatible with that, so Talia can't see it like we do. Anyways, we see Tempo stunning Seekers. I think that's reasonable. You're playing 5A for a reason. What next? What are like hot objectives that players should be thinking about? I guess.
I think 5 keys in 2 has to be something you think about. Potentially reach library, because you can then finish 3B from there for progress to 7 hearts as well.
Yeah, that's possible. Also, did Talia do any percent order? There are no towers here. Oh, it is any percent order. Oh my god, I'm so clueless. I thought it was Chess Towers books. I'm so sorry. Never mind. Commentators try to actually know what's going on with the match challenge.
Let's see. So core is also a potentially good play to make, because
Core?
there's all berries in Heart of
Oh.
the Mountain and reach the orb in Heart of the Mountain. And then
Oh.
again, if you're thinking about 7 hearts, you potentially finish core after getting the orb for another heart.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Oh, the Talia is delaying the mess order, and Tempo is in huge mess. This might be Talia's chance back into the game. 7-4 is an ugly position, but the best way to get back into the game is getting a heavy lockout. Tempo goes into chess. Oh boy.
And Talia is suddenly looking at the bingo board, but still not ticking yet.
Okay, Talia needed just one more berry to get 15, and does.
Tempo has finished chests, so I don't know how
it turns
feasible
purple.
it is to back out of chests, if at all. It's not, is it?
You cannot
'Cause
back out of chess. It's not possible.
seals
Loco
behind
is behind you.
Okay, yeah. So I guess as soon as he was in chests, he
Oh wait,
was
objective
unable
turns
to
purple.
back out. And Tempo is still going. Is he just not looking at the board? Or does he think that the other mess order got ticked? Okay. he
It
returns
just
to-
took a while. There appears to be some stream delay. Talia deciding. Please decide in a chapter. Go into a chapter and then think about the board while you're playing. 2A, yeah, 2A is great. 4A, that's also great. 4A, Shrine, yeah, 15 and 3, perfect. Would have preferred to start in 2A just so you get all collectibles 2A progress, but this works, absolutely.
Yeah, she can also now think about 5 keys in 2 if she wants to go back to 5A to get that. Since
It's an option. She's
got to
now
the
advantaged.
elevator shaft.
She's advantaged to Leech Library at this point because Tempo doesn't have the cassette, and she does.
Meanwhile, Tempo is redoing the slower mess order and hopefully doing it correctly this time.
Yeah, but at what cost? You've got to ask yourself. Does anyone know how many blue heads Talia has? I have not been paying attention. I know Tempo has a couple. I did not see if Talia collected any.
I think, if I had to guess, I would say that Talia has 0 blue hearts.
Alright. And yeah, we see all collectibles 2A, and 15 in 3 chapters. Yeah, fast objectives, do them. It's completely reasonable. And yeah, okay, Tempo spending extra time to get the blue heart, understanding that core is vaguely important for later. I mean, that's
both core and 7 hearts.
Yeah, that's well, core has 2 objectives for about, depending on execution, 3.5 minutes. Which is extremely solid at this point in the game. Mess order turns orange. Talia has to wait but doesn't take a death. And now what?
15 berries in 3 chapters turns purple, and
I mean,
presumably soon all collectibles in 2A will also turn purple. Tempo going for the cassette in 3A, or the 5th key, or both.
Or 3 berries, because Tempo has 12 berries in this chapter, I believe. But if he was going for that, it's gone. Talia, just pick an objective.
Yeah. So another
There we
reason
go.
actually why Library 3B is a decent thought is 2 binoculars in 3 chapters, because obviously both players have access to... Oh no, Tempo skipped 4A, so he doesn't have immediate access to 4A binos, so he could get the 3B. Neither player has finished Temple yet, so they don't have access to Summit binos. 3B has 2 binos in it. And
then Tempo goes into Sitch. What is happening?
Okay.
Oh, 5 keys in 2. Okay, that makes sense. This might be huge for Talia. If Talia can win this and also get core synergy. Oh, hold on. Counting. Does Tempo win off late game? Five keys in 2, which he's about to get. And then there's 3 things in Summit, because both people have used the assist skip, and Tempo knows it.
Yeah, so he would need 1 other objective.
The problem is that 1 other objective might not be super easy to get.
Yeah, 2 binoculars in 3 chapters, if he has Summit access, would be a good choice.
Well,
He
yeah,
can get Ridge binos in about a minute. And then he just needs another chapter.
Yeah, if
3 keys in
Talia's-
Power Source is even for both players.
if Talia recognizes, like, what Tempo's win condition is here and decides to go, I don't know, farewell and snipe 2 binos in 3, like, right now, I think going core is also reasonable. Wow, okay. Yeah, no, Talia's going to probably snipe 2 binos in 3 chapters, having access to 4A, 3B, and farewell before Tempo will be able to get into Summit. But if Tempo, I don't know, commits to core or something, he technically has the advantage. Oh, this is tight. The cards are in Tempo's hands, but I think Talia does have a way back into this game with a little bit of luck.
A funny thought from Maraconda in Twitch chat is Summit Blue could actually be viable with Bird's Nest and 5 gems being on the board.
That's you're right, but well, I mean, yes, but also, okay. From a tactical standpoint, you are correct. Oh, okay, and Tempo goes... Tempo... Talia hasn't finished all collectibles 2A? What? Huh? What? Wait, did that not happen?
No, she did Intervention and Awake, I think. But
And she has a 1-up in 2A, so she has most of the berries in 2A stat.
most is not all. And
Well,
And
it
also
better
no
be
blue
all, and
multiplier.
it better be all extremely soon, because if Tempo gets this, I don't think Talia has a way back in. It's so hard to make this call. There's so much stuff you need to get, and you need to get all of it as Talia. Talia doesn't do DTS, so it's completely reasonable. She just quits out at Powerless. I know it's so difficult expecting a bingo player to make that sort of lead in the middle of the game. But if anyone can do it, quit out. Is this 2 and 3 or is this all collectibles 2A? This is 2 banners and 3 chapters. Tempo has the Awake Winged for 4 winged berries. I think this is too slow. I think Tempo will get this. And that might be... Well, it might be difficult for Talia to come back after that objective.
At that point, she needs to get one of the... She's skipped the bino. Okay, she realizes.
Okay.
Yeah, at that point, she needs to get something in Summit, and what is more realistic for her to get in Summit?
She could possibly expect Tempo to play 7B and then Lush 7A for Bird's Nest and Epilogue. That's a move, but I'm not sure it's going to matter because Tempo's going heads and is going to go into core. Talia doesn't have the heads for core, unfortunately.
Yeah, which actually, especially from Tempo's point of view, he's just seen Talia take 2 binoculars in 3 chapters, not knowing what she's done. That could be Summit progress. So it makes sense for him not to go to Summit.
Wait, Tempo might be afraid of Summit. Talia can win without... No, can Talia win without core? Well, Talia's going core, so it doesn't matter. Tempo would need to lose a pretty hefty amount of time to execution, considering Talia's at least a minute behind.
And realistically, technically, Talia can win without core, but she would need to win 7 hearts.
Oh yeah.
Which Tempo probably wins.
That's fair. Finishing out 3B for a hit. I guess, yeah, it's fast. Gosh, yeah, I'm not really sure what to say about this game. I feel like Talia had a couple of chances, but messed up the 5A one up, and then I think just got flustered at a couple of different points in the match, and was forced into a
ultimately, obviously the game would have played out differently if the score was different. So it's hard to it'll say, oh, if this went different, then this would have happened. But the 5A 1-up and 35 berries, if those go to Talia,
Oh, it's
the
a
game looks
completely
completely
different
different.
game.
And maybe we wouldn't then be in the same position, but with the scoreline being reversed. But maybe we would.
I mean,
And at that
we
point,
would
would be really good for Talia.
we would be in a position, certainly. One that's like, hold on. Talia's
Okay,
going
Talia's
5B.
going 5B.
I don't
So she
think-
has enough hearts for core, so that's not why she's doing this.
Is this a
So
7?
this gets her access to Summit, and it is a heart for 7 hearts.
I think. Wait.
If she can win 7 hearts, then she can win without core.
I fully believe that she's scared Tempo out of Summit. I think Tempo believes 2 and 3 is a Summit objective. So I think there's a decent chance Tempo lushes 7 hearts, and if Talia is able to lock that out, Tempo will lush Farewell. That I might be wrong. But maybe. Is this really like? No, I feel like there's no way that Talia can win this. Is there?
I mean, theoretically,
No,
So-
I mean this.
assuming Tempo finishes core for a heart, that will get him to 5 hearts, and Talia finishing 5B will get her to 5 hearts. They both need 2 more. If they both go for that, and Talia wins that race,
Talia will win that race.
And-
Talia doesn't
yeah.
have 3A hit, which is fast, and Tempo only has slow hits, like either early B sides or like 6A of something to access. Because I think Tempo has 1, 2, 4, 5 blue. Or no, Tempo has 1, 2, 5, 3, 5 blue. So no, Tempo can also get 4A. That's fast.
although it's slower for Tempo because he skipped the chapter, so he doesn't have showing unlocked.
Yeah, it's true. Will Talia realize that the cortex indicate Tempo is gunning for 7 hertz? Will Tempo gun for 7 hertz? I think he will, but I don't know. And Talia, with limited information, might not know. There's a lot of what ifs, but
Yeah, and then after that, it's the question of Summit versus Farewell. And then even if
I think
if
Tempo.
both players go for Summit, there's the question of 7A versus 7B.
Yeah, there's so much that Talia needs to do right to get a victory here.
Okay, Talia's going into Summit, so if Tempo
Okay.
brushes hearts, then he wins.
Yeah, and I think he will. Yeah, okay, 4A. And then probably 1B or something. Or probably 2B, because Tempo has 2A cassette. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like Talia worked towards a lot of good things, just wasn't able to commit heavily enough to make this end game totally winnable. Like Talia played 15 berries in 2A, but didn't commit to all collectibles 2A. Got flustered with 3A start berries. There were opportunities, but it's so hard to play a board like this. It's extremely farewell. Okay. I mean, as I was saying, there were opportunities, but it's so difficult to play a board like this one. Imagine if Tempo goes farewell. That would never happen. Yeah, okay, 2B.
Yeah. this is absolutely like I think. So I think some of these mistakes we definitely could attribute to the fact that Talia just hasn't played that much bingo recently,
Oh yeah,
and
definitely.
also possibly restream nerves. You tend to
That's
play worse in restream tournaments because you know people are watching you.
absolutely true.
It-
Panic is real.
Yeah,
And
it's ironic
let's
that
jump to it.
you play worse because you're worried about people watching you make mistakes, and then that makes you make more mistakes.
Yeah.
It's a vicious cycle, which is very tough to get out of unless you play the perfect game.
Yeah, probably playing out Summit theoretically could get to 12, but that's not enough, unfortunately.
Clearly, she gets 7 with 7A and 7B.
That would be something. Tempo closing in on the 7th hit. Unfortunately, this will knock Talia out of the Expert Bash, but I mean, this was a really good game. I thought it was decently well added. Skipping 3A after a huge mess would have worked out hugely in Talia's favor if it wasn't for what happened with the 1-up. And yeah, GG.
Yeah, GG both players. Very good match.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. What do you see in early game here, Pocket?
Okay, City Blue Heart, that's probably bait. And you skip it first pass. If you come back for it later, you could double it up with crossing berries, though. All berries in a wake, more likely to be a rush objective. Grab this cliff face. 1-up in 2A. 5 berries in 5 chapters is something players might be thinking about from early on, though obviously they won't get it until much later.
Yeah, there's quite a bit early here. Even stuff like grab this cliff face, 3 hearts, 3 cassettes, and complete 3A signs are all fast objectives.
Oh yeah, I misread that. I thought it was 5A sides. But yeah, 3A sides, very much just the standard city site ridge rush. We have Bird's Nest on the board again. Don't expect to see a summit skip.
One of our new objectives, reach the orb and heart of the mountain on the board, encouraging that heart collection that we see.
Yeah, for new objectives, we also have 3 hearts and 3 cassettes, and complete resort and temple,
Interesting.
which obviously is an interesting one because usually you skip either resort or temple because they are the longer chapters. But that objective potentially encourages you to play resort and skip ridge.
Yeah, and that also synergizes quite well with 2 keys and 2 chapters. And additionally, 5 berries and 5 chapters, I'd say, because you could play early 4A for 5 berries and then skip. And then that's a way to get 5 berries and 5 chapters really quickly, unless your opponent does the same thing in 3A.
Yeah. So another thing to consider actually for the 2 keys and 2 chapters is there's also get 2 keys and power source. So if 2 keys and 2 stays on the board for a while, a player could just get it in farewell instead.
Interesting.
Which
Play 3A
could also work
play...
very nicely with use 7 binoculars and use 9 binoculars.
Very interesting synergy there. Yeah, we could see a mid-game farewell play for sure. I don't think it's strong early because there's so many other pretty quick objectives. I would expect this match to be pretty volatile. We see both players skipping 1A heart. That makes sense. I would expect to see a 1-up rush in 2A. Yeah, we see essentially no berry collection here.
Yeah, I mean, there's 5. I guess 5 and 5 is the only thing. The only reason you would get just random berries.
Yeah. Berto with a slight RTA lead into 2A.
With the players being this close, it's even to the point where you start asking, like, does one of them skip the binos here, and that gives them a lead? Okay, neither of them gets the first berry, they both get the bino.
Interesting. Thinking ahead for 7 binos and 9 binos. And we see Raki elect to skip. Oh no. Raki maybe going for an intervention 1-up? Both players going for an intervention 1-up?
Okay, this... I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, certainly if Vedal could do this. He has practiced a lot of like, bingo-specific things, like random 1-ups.
Okay, it seems
Raki
Raki
has
is
no idea.
just not collecting this berry and pulls ahead of Vertle here. Ooh, Vertle dies with 4 berries.
Yeah, so I'm
Definitely.
guessing Raki was maybe thinking more about progress to 5 berries in 5, although he's skipping a lot of other berries.
Yeah, not
Whereas
getting
Vedal
these
was
fast
clearly
berries in
going for the
intervention.
1-up. And unfortunately, obviously, the point of a progress 1-up like Vedal was going for is that even if you get locked out of the objective, you don't lose a lot of progress. But the unfortunate thing here is that it has still set him behind a little bit, so he will lose a Wakeberry, assuming Raki goes for that.
I see that objective turn blue. As Vertle is a couple screens behind.
Okay, but that does mean that the progress lead shifts back into Vedal's favor by a small amount. And
Double
both
3A
players
skip.
skip resort. Yeah, I mean, so yeah, looking at the board, I guess there's nothing in resort really after mess, which definitely can feed into it being something that you go back for later rather than something you do first pass.
Ridge is, of course, a nice chapter for 3 arts, 3 cassettes, but we see both players skipping the cassette, likely gunning for Grabless Cliff Face and complete 3A sides, which definitely makes sense, a synergy to go for.
Yeah, I guess the question really is, where do you stop just rushing progress? And you could very easily keep going through Temple for things like kill 2 different Seekers, stun Seekers 20 times, and just getting access to late game. You could equally get the key in depths and then quit out to 3A for 2 keys and 2 chapters, and huge mess and Pico access. And obviously there's also the option at some point of the potential farewell play for keys and binoculars.
You see Vertle losing quite a bit of progress here to execution. Raki getting unpaused second blockless. Okay. Vertle attempting the same. It's its second try. Okay. Sure.
Yeah, and Raki is first into their face.
Struggling with this first room here. There we go.
Okay, Vedal does turn on Grabless, and
I would almost prefer to see a non-grabless play from Vertle, expecting to be behind an execution here. and try to snipe 3A sides. As it is, he may get locked out of both. So it depends on some of these more challenging grabless rooms. Mackie gets through the snowball room there with ease, and again here. Both players with these very high level cliff face strats definitely avoiding the need to grab much. And Mackie pulls ahead to an early 3-0 lead.
Yeah, taking a moment to find grabless cliff face on the board after taking the 3A sides. It would have been very strange to see those objectives get split, with both players going for both of them. And goes into temple. And Verdal goes back to crossing. Okay, so this obviously is where the match starts to kind of get more interesting. Up till now, we've mostly been racing 80%, but now we have route divergence. The players are picking different priorities. Verdal just rushing the city blue heart rather than going to all berries and crossing. We'll see if he continues afterwards for that, or just quits back out again.
Oh man, I'm looking at all of the late game objectives, and if Raki's able to get them all, it's a very strong position. But it looks like Verdal is not. Oh yeah, into 3A. So something Verdal may need to look into sniping is the binocular synergy. But that might be difficult if Raki goes straight to Summit after this. So with the Bino objectives, kill 2 Seekers, and then 4 gems, 5 gems, Bird's Nest, and the 2 Reflection objectives, Raki is advantaged towards a lot right now. I almost wonder if Verdal needs to, like, play an undesirable trap. Actually, no, he can go into Farewell to snipe binocular objectives.
Yeah.
That may be a very good play.
I think that's probably the play after 3A start.
Yeah, to
Because
break that win con.
if he just gets all the binoculars in Farewell up through Power Source, that is 9 binoculars. Or he could get some quick ones in Ridge before going into Farewell. And he obviously got 1 in 2A already.
Yeah, I think that could work out for Verdal. Because stealing those 2 objectives, only leaves Raki with 7 in late game. And, those take a lot of time, whereas Verdal can maybe focus down 3 hearts and 3 cassettes to get an advantage into core. Verdal obviously building a lead towards Pico 8, to complete the Zord and Temple. Or I guess not so much Temple, but... yeah, we'll see what he does.
Into 5A, so... This will get him, if he goes for Depth's Key, this will get him 2 keys and 2 chapters faster, but it's slower for the binocular objectives than if he were to go into Farewell.
I think it's also likely a 5 berries and 5 chapters play, which makes sense to me.
Yeah, although he currently has 9 berries total, so he's not super close to that. Alright, we're going to see early Depth's Key.
Not that try. Gives it a second try, and I assume he gets it based on the information we have available to us. There we go. Does he continue on to this heart? Not sure. Interestingly enough, Raki could have gotten 2 keys and 2 if he felt it was contested, but with no information from Verdal, you probably want to rush the Seeker kills.
Yeah, which... does he not have that now? Is that...
He does, he's just delaying it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and now he takes it.
Why is he getting this one? He already... Oh, he wants bops now. Okay. Might as well do that in the next room. See Verdal
Meanwhile,
following into
Verdal is-
5B.
Yeah. Which is
I'm not sure I like this
okay.
at
So
all.
yeah. So obviously, by this point, factoring in stream delay, Verdal has already seen the secret kills, and will fairly soon see the stuns. And I guess we see if he just carries on with 5B or quits out to try and go somewhere else to contest other objectives. It's a rough position to be in, that there's so much in late game, so you can feel that you kind of have to contest it. But if you're just already behind, what do you do?
Interesting to see that we're almost 15 minutes into this match with 1 up and 2A still on the board. I would like to see Verdal quit out here, but it might even just be too late already.
Yeah, because the thing we were thinking he could snipe was the binocular objectives. Okay, Raki goes into reflection first rather than summit. The
Interesting.
hitting Kevin block from all 4 sides will not take very long.
And now we see a 3 hearts, 3 cassettes play from Verdal. I wonder if Raki bothers to continue here. Is there anything else? Grabless rock bottoms. Yeah, I think he definitely just quit right after this. Verdal and 1B for binos. I don't know if this is fast enough.
Yeah, meanwhile, Raki's picking up.
Oh,
Okay, he gets
interesting.
Dino and then goes straight to summit.
So Verdal now has 5A, 5B, 1B, 4A. So that's 4. Access to Cliff Face. He already got 2A, so I guess that's 6. He needs 1 more before he gets Singular to get to 9. Goes back into 4A start. Yeah, I mean, I guess. Does Verdal win 7 here? If he doesn't, the match might just be over. Let's see what Raki's at. I haven't been counting binoculars on his side. 5, Raki gets 7. Oh my, this is going to be close. I think Raki gets it though, yeah. These binoculars in 500 meters are so fast. I'm not sure that I see a way in for Verdal. That 5B play just took a little too much time.
Yeah, it's definitely unfortunate where obviously I don't mean to downplay Raki's bingo routing skill, but Verdal, you would expect to have the better routing just from having more recent bingo practice. But then a lot of this board you could just get away with playing on pure execution, and Verdal made more execution mistakes, which just put him behind to everything.
I'm interested to see how Raki plays this, because if he continues in Summit here, there are only 4 objectives that he gets from Summit. And they will take quite some time. If Verdal is... going into Pico. If Verdal is able to get some quick objectives here, like crossing berries and 1 up and 2A, it's possible he can deny enough. I don't think it's over yet. Oh, I forgot about 9 binos. That makes it harder. because now any non-summit objective and Raki has the game.
Yeah, so Vettel going for the 80% huge mess order, and may go for Pico afterwards. Raki has picked up 9 binos. And, okay, I was wondering if Vettel would be getting any berries. I have not been keeping track of his progress to 5 and 5.
Raki, I would expect to quit out here after getting 9 binos. Nope, goes for the 4th gem, okay. Indicating progress there, figuring he has enough time to still do this and then get one objective. And I think he's right. There's a lot that Friddle has to do right now. Yeah, all of 5 and 5, Berries and Crossing, and 1-up and 2A are very important objectives for Virtle to get. And I'm not sure if he'll have the time to get all 3. It very much depends on how Raki plays the next few minutes.
Okay, Vettel finishes the mess order, does not go straight into Pico 8.
I think that's a good decision.
Elvis shaft. Yeah, you have no reason to think Raki has entered 3A. And as Vettel in this position, you really have to prioritize what you go for.
Alrighty. One thing that's worth noting is that Berries and Crossing, 1-up and 2A, all of these things do synergize with 5 berries and 5 chapters. So I think there's a shot that he can get this, especially if Raki takes the next 30 seconds to go enter 2,000 meters, which he very well might. He has very little information from Virtle.
Yeah, Vettel has a huge information advantage because he just hasn't taken that many objectives. It's just that between information advantage and objective advantage, you would usually rather have the objective advantage, certainly when it's this big.
An interesting objective on the board still is 2 keys and power source. Had Virtle done it sooner to get binocular synergy, it has a lot more value. Now it's sort of a one-off objective that is difficult to go for because it takes so much time. We'll see where Raki chooses to head here. Into 2A makes sense.
Yeah, Vettel has just finished crossing berries, so he
All right,
now
this
goes
is a
into
race.
2A. Yep.
I think basically Virtle needs this to stay in the game. Raki collecting there. That helps a little bit for Virtle.
Yeah, factoring in Raki having already collected, they basically get their first berry at the same time. Vettel having a slight moment with the cutscene.
Oh my goodness.
It turns green.
This is crazy one-up routing from Virtle. And Raki collects, meaning he needs one more berry. That was just enough for him. Oh my goodness, Raki was reaching for that, I'm sure. Wow, okay. Staying in by a hair.
Yeah, Raki taking a moment to return to map there, possibly a little in shock that he lost that objective. And now I'm guessing this is a 5 and 5 play from Vettel.
Yeah, and potentially the same from Raki, as well as working towards that huge mess order, which I assume Virtle will take off soon. Hard to say. Virtle has to do Resort and Temple at some point. He can't leave it for too long. Between that, Power Source, and Groundless Rock Bottom, this is still a really, really difficult endgame for Virtle. Raki has a lot of options still. And Virtle did not unlock Elevator Shaft. So we saw him enter the room, but he must have done Wow. I don't know if it's first frame or if it's more lenient.
Okay, but he's going to Pico 8.
Okay, this makes sense.
And of course, he has now ticked the huge mess order, so Raki cannot snipe him on that. Okay, he quits out of Pico and quits out of Result and goes back to 5B. Is Raki going for Pico? Okay, no, just unlocks huge mess and quits out and goes to the chapter select screen. Farewell. I mean, that is a thing, as we've seen him going for DTS. Power source keys being just an isolated objective with no synergy, like you said, means it's hard to go for, because like it's hard to justify the time you take doing it, and that means that it's potentially a good thing to go for the player who is ahead, because you don't expect to get locked out because your opponent probably doesn't want to be doing it. And if you just trade objectives while you're ahead, then you win.
Yeah, I imagine if Vertil saw that he had Elevator Shaft unlocked, he'd feel more comfortable in Complete Resort and Temple. As is, though, it's super hard to justify going into Farewell right now.
Okay, and Vertil goes into Summit. This is a long shot play, but Vertil is in a difficult position. So
This could work.
yeah, because Vertil has a very fast Summit. Does he still have the world record in the chapter? I know he has had the world record in the chapter at some point.
It's worth noting that Raki's Summit progress is 2k entry. You know, you see 5 gems and you think, okay, that's pretty far, but really it's only about 3 minutes. And he's going to be spending quite a bit of time here in Farewell. Let's see. Raki will only need 2 more objectives after this. I think it's all but guaranteed he comes back to Summit. So does Vertil have the confidence to hard commit to 2.5k berries? And of course, only needing 2 more, Raki could also go play Pico. So it's sort of a coin flip, probably in Vertil's mind. You know, does Raki execute the Summit win con or try to snipe shorter objectives in an earlier chapter? And there's also miscellaneous stuff on the bottom row that we see. Grab the rock bottom and completing the temple still.
Yeah, which at this point, the two of them have the exact same progress to complete Resort and Temple, because they both have Huge Mess and Temple already completed.
Oh yeah, true. Seems Raki comes ahead in this exchange. Vertil is still going through 1,000 meters. Where does he decide to go next?
Huge Mess. So this is probably Pico, though it could be Complete Resort and Temple.
I think there's no reason to not go Pico here as Raki. If Vertil has done Pico, your Summit is safe. If he hasn't, the Pico is probably fine. So this makes a lot of sense from Raki. Curious where this could have gone differently. Execution in 4A I think was a really big factor in this match, because it changed, or it affected greatly who was ahead into Temple and who got the double objective of Cliff Face and the 3A sides. Yeah, this game I think is completely different if 4A plays out, you know, slightly faster for one player. I guess Vertil.
Yeah. Honestly, I wonder if even after losing the 4A objectives, Vidal needed to just keep contesting progress so that Raki couldn't just have Summit as a safe win con. But I
Maybe,
guess
yeah.
the problem there is if he just remained behind, then he still does all the objectives, but he doesn't get anything else in the meantime. Raki takes Old Side of Pico, and Vidal calls GG.
Alrighty, pretty short match to finish off the day. Well played to both players. This was something of a snowbally board with all the progress objectives. But yeah, like Frodo mentions in the Bingo Sync chat, there were quite a few lockouts there. Alrighty, well, thanks everybody for watching today. What are you looking forward to next weekend, Mora? Or Pocket? Any matches in particular?
I mean, obviously, winners finals, Raki versus Tio. I think I said yesterday that Raki is a bingo player who I consistently underestimate how good he is, and
Sure.
Tio obviously is just really good. So I'm very interested to see that. I mean, all of them, ultimately, all 8 players in this tournament are really good. So all the matches I expect to be good. But that one definitely stands out.
Yeah, seeing Vertil versus Crab in the lower bracket and players like Reed and Talia already out, it's very, very silly almost. Thanks for watching, and enjoy Isaac's stream.